Right side of the screen, I'm going to be like, this is a Galaxy of Heroes, day by day. Thanks for being here. God, homie for the homie. Hope you're going. Hope things are going well wherever you are, whatever you're doing tonight, today, because these videos come out like at 11:30. Yes, I get the punishing one. In case you're wondering. I know that what's his face? The Rabbit Beaver Dam guy, whoever that person is. Rabbit Beaver, he did hey, this is how much it'll cost you if you get lucky, if you want to get punishing one. You need to get it to 5 stars for it to be usable. Probably. I tried to use it some places, not on this account, I don't think, but on other accounts, and I was like, this is not going well. And so I've been disappointed in that occurrence. Because it's like I said on the free to play. The people, either you're gonna get it or you're not. If you're gonna get it, you're probably gonna go in all in for it. Because you think it's that important to your fleet. I think it's that important to my fleet. I just don't have the money. And if this was Galactic Chase, I would have had enough currency to be able to chase it, but I don't. So, and people are like they're not making money. Well, that's because previously people had more money to be able to spend, and now they don't have the money, and that's because I know a lot of people don't want to think about this. And quite frankly, if I'm being honest, I wish I didn't have to think about this. Because if we're honest, this is not something that you should have to think about all the time. But it's a fact of the current state of our world that we live in. And that is elections have consequences. And, you know, you can pretend that inflation isn't as bad as it is. Or you can live in the real world where you realize that, hey, there's a reason there's no galactic chase. Because inflation's bad, people don't have as much money. And that's part of what drives my focus. I know I don't talk about that exclusively. I talk about Jesus, which I mean, if we were being honest and we just realized that maybe we should give this Jesus thing a shake, because back when we actually had him around and he was prevalent in our lives, things were better. Not saying things are perfect, and because the Bible says in this, in this life, you will have struggles. Whether that's sickness, whether that's inconvenience. And I tend to think that the reason we have struggles is because of the bad choices and judgment that we've made. Whether that's eating something we shouldn't have, or doing something we shouldn't have, or you know, and that's something that I think people try to avoid now because it's not popular. But just because it's not popular doesn't mean it's not real and present, and something that's not to be taken lightly, because we live in a world where people just we just want to be babied our whole life. And I get it. That's why people are YouTubers. I'm not. I mean, I'm on YouTube, but I've not seen a penny. So I'm not actually a YouTuber because I've never seen a penny. But I get that that's why people, make this into an art form. And I don't know. I've talked about that the travel vloggers, um, Nate and Kira, and Aim in the Back, and Sailing the Vagabond, and they're doing the work, and they shoot all this video, and I can only imagine how much time it takes to edit it. And then I'm like, well, that's why you only make one video a week, because it takes, and why it's like, weeks between videos or whatever, because it probably takes forever. Um, and then you just look at their videos and you're like, okay, how much life did you lead? Did you live in between those cuts? Because I mean, I was even watching this gentleman. Excuse me. I was even watching Jason from Sutherland, who's in the Asheville area. His videos are 30 minutes, but it's like he's talking about days, and so using fraction of days, and it's like, and the reason why they do that is because they probably shoot a ton, and then they probably have a 30-minute box that they want to try to get all the pertinent information into. Why? Because that's what we've told them that we want. We don't want, videos that take a while to get wherever. And, I know you're talking to me like, yeah, I get stuff to do. Come on. Let me see what you're going to get. And apologies, but some things take time to explain. Some things take time to understand. And I think that's one of the great lies that we're being told in modern age, is you could have it all and you don't have to do anything to get there. And my foster son, his mom, she's lost 4 children already, and we have her youngest, and she's trying desperately, and she's trying to change her life, but um she doesn't know how to do stuff. And I know there's the stereotypical views of millennials, and every generation you have a stereotypical view of the people in the generations, and sometimes there are people out there who defy the stereotypes. And then but there are a lot of people who are the stereotypes, and then there are people that are even worse, than the stereotypes. I, myself, am probably worse than a lot of other people in my generation, but there are a lot of things that I consider myself to be, I excel at. Well, I don't know that I excel at anything. I try to, but a lot of the time I miss the mark on so much stuff. And I don't want to, but that's just where I am. And I've flirted with reading books my whole life. And it's something that I've never wanted to do. But I gotta tell you, and I'm never gonna be a booktuber. I mean, if you go and watch those booktube guys, like Murphy Napier or any of those other people, the amount, I mean, like just the amount of time that they put into some of the stuff they do, and like their booktube videos, like Murphy reads books, and then she does 3 videos a week, and I'm like, how the heck do you have time to read? I mean, that must be her whole life. And I know she's a mom. She's got a kid, and she's got a husband. But it's like, and you should go check her out. It's Murphy Napier Books. It's her. It's Murphy Napier, and it's books. And she's a booktuber now. She also has a manga channel where she talks about One Piece. But um, she's one of the booktubers that reads fantasy and mainly reads fantasy, and she talks about the books. And I'm like, how do you have this much time? And me, all I'm doing is I just play this game. I play this game. I don't play it at a high level, as you can tell, because it's just something that I do occasionally. I don't let it rule my life, because I've been to that place. I used to play World of Warcraft back in the day, and I would be the guy who would like go to work, and I would be like, okay, how can I get slightly better whatever out of my whatever I was playing at the time. And now I just don't do that. I'm just like, play the game, log in a couple times a day, do my pulls, do my runs. Can I, do my territory battle or territory war or raid or GAC or conquest, and other than that, it's just I'm just doing whatever. And I will admit, doing 5 accounts a day does kind of take more time than I want it to, but if it gets to the point where it does take too much time, there's a decision to be made. And it's not a decision I want to make. But I've learned that if it's a decision I need to make, then it's a decision I can't avoid. I can't run from. Because to do so would mean that I haven't learned from my mistakes. And too many times we don't do that. Like, I'm a member of Team TV. I think we've established that by now. But I didn't come to that. I didn't come to that decision lightly, because I did not want to be on Team TV. But given, because I was like looking, I'm like, is there a better option? And he's not perfect, but being the fact that he has a track record, that they both have a track record, and his is better, and I just don't believe anything that any network is saying. And so that kind of makes the decision academic. Plus, things were cheaper there, and not there was less inflation, and so, you know, like I talked about, we don't like to make decisions. We don't like to make uncomfortable decisions. Like, if I had to make a decision to put this game down, it'd be a hard decision. Like, I talked about World of Warcraft. My decision to leave World of Warcraft back when I was playing that it took years to get to that point. And then there was an expansion come out, and I'd go back and play it, and then I'd stop, and then, another however long would go by, and then another expansion would come out, and I'd go back and play it, and so I would going back, I'd spend money for the expansion, I'd play it for however long, and then I'd throw it away. And now it's like, yeah, they got all this great stuff, and I know that, I guess, Chris Edson or whoever's back in charge, and that's great. I'm over it. But then sometimes there's a great game that, if they would have put more work into and more effort into and more money into, like Disney Sorcerer's Arena, that could have been great. But they decided not to. So they made the decision for me. But my kids are getting older, and time's getting shorter. I don't know. Anyway, if you have any questions, we didn't do anything. I just rambled and did random stuff in the background that I can't even remember what I did. But yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. If you want to talk about anything, that'd be fine. If you happen to want to watch more videos here at the end, then feel free to click on the icons, the stuff, wherever they are. And yeah, make sure you hold the line, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.